think about how times have changed over the years. My goodness gracious, has there been just tremendous changes in the world and the country, in our lives, technology and science in my lifetime. And I even think back to stories that my granny told me about as she was growing up as a girl. And this would have been in the early 1900s. She said that they were dirt floor poor. And I asked her what that meant. She said, well, what it means is in the houses that we grew up in, she said they didn't have floors like what you have in houses now. She said they had dirt floors. And I said, well, how in the world would you sweep that? She said, with a broom, just like anything else. She said, they pack it down good. We wet it down and then roll it and compact it, tamp it, get it good and hard. And that was the floor of the house. And she said, then you just sweep it with a broom like you would anything else. She said, but there wasn't no carpet or linoleum or vinyl flooring or any of that. And that was even, talking to her was back in the days before they had stuff called pergo and laminated flooring and such things as that. She wouldn't know what to think of that stuff today. But she used to tell me all kinds of stories about how it was when she grew up. And then, of course, I can remember very well how it was when I grew up. We didn't have all the electronics and stuff the kids have today. We played with bicycles, and Dad built me little playhouses out of straw bales. And I played with the cats and the dolls and that sort of thing. And we had a swing set in the yard to play on, climb on. We was lucky enough to have some neighbors around that had some young'uns that lived close enough. Maybe I could get together with them once in a while. That was pretty much a rare treat. I was on my own most of the time. But there wasn't electronics and stuff to play with. I mean, if we got a box of Cracker Jacks with a prize in it, that was a big deal. Kids today wouldn't know how to act if somebody's handed them a box of Cracker Jacks and to look forward to playing with the little toy inside of it. They'd think that's awful if they didn't get some electronic that's worth several $100s. They think that they've lost out. And we didn't have fancy tennis shoes and stuff as I was growing up like what they have today. There wasn't no such thing as Nikes and all that kind of thing. We had red ball jets, and on the heel there was a little tab on the rubber sole part that had a red ball on it. It's called red ball jets. And then they had Keds, Keds, Keds shoes. And those was the big deal. If you could get Keds or red ball jets, but even then, if you paid $20 for a pair of tennis shoes back then, that good golly, you'd think you had something designer. Holy smoke. And the kids anymore, if they don't have everything designer clothes, then they think they're being mistreated. I know my stepson, even growing up, he got mad at me because I took him to a discount store and bought his school clothes, and he didn't want to wear them. He's having a fit over that. He thought that he needed to go to the mall, to the Gap and Macy's and, all that for school clothes. I said, oh, no, that is not happening. We ain't made of money, and we're not doing that. And he kept on. I said, I'll tell you what I will do. I said, if you keep this up, I'll take them clothes right back to the store I got them from and get a refund, and we'll go over to the Goodwill store. And I'll get your clothes at Goodwill. You can wear used clothes. Oh, he like to die. I said, well, keep going. Keep pushing me. I said, what you don't understand is those clothes at Goodwill are every bit as good as the ones that you get at them fancy stores. They're even better because they've done had the buttons sewed back on them. so that the buttons don't fall off and the hems put back in them, where the hems are falling out from all that stuff, and you're getting a better quality of clothes from the Goodwill store than you're getting at them fancy clothes and stores at the mall. But my goodness gracious, we our cars were simpler. You didn't have to repair them with metric tools. It was a 350 engine was a good engine in a vehicle. Uh, Sometimes you could get something a little, well, I'm going to call it fancier. Back in the day, we considered it to be a little fancier as a 460 engine, something with some power to it, and now everything's got to be what they call fuel efficient. And I don't know that it's so much any more efficient than the things that we had back in the day. Um, but yeah, they downsized the cars to the size of a roller skate. And, look at those smart cars that they have. Good golly, $20,000, $30,000 for one of them little bitty things. And if a dog jumped out in front of you on the road, you'd be toast trying to go down the road in one of them things. I don't know what in the world people are thinking. They believe that all these things are supposed to be for our good and for the betterment of society. That all these newfangled gadgets and things that they can spy on you with, GPS to follow you wherever you go, and monitor your cell phone and all your email, monitor everything you do. You got Big Brother watching you at every step of the way. And back in the day, we didn't have any of them problems. There wasn't traffic light cameras or monitors. They got monitors now outside courthouses so they can monitor conversations and use it against people if they're talking to their lawyers outside the courthouse and all such of that. We didn't have any of that kind of stuff. That did not go on. And then, security systems inside homes. We didn't need any of that sort of thing. I mean, everybody pretty much was armed where I lived. Everybody had a weapon and knew how to use it. Everybody had a dog. And anybody come around trying to steal from you, well, you whooped up on them real good. And then you held them there with the shotgun on them until the police got there. And it was very simple. People thought twice about trying to mess with you. Nobody thinks nothing about it anymore. It was a kinder and gentler time. You didn't have weed police. Here in town I live in, we got weed police. And if you have a weed grow up in your yard, you got the police at your door over it. Are you kidding me? There ain't more serious things to be dealing with than a weed in somebody's yard. It just amazes me. The alphabet soup of the government, all these branches that they have on the tree of the government, alphabets every place you look, USDA, FDA, BLM. I mean, it just goes on forever. You got everybody in the world policing you over every doggone thing and taking more and more of your rights away from you. And a thing that really concerns me is like in another 50, 60, 70, 100 years. I mean, it concerns me on what's going to happen in the next 5 years. And people just seem to just let this keep going on and don't think anything of it. There's never any stops put to it. Never. The government sits there and says, well, this is for your own good. This is to conserve energy, or this is to preserve the planet, or this is to increase technology, or for scientific purposes. Look at CERN and all that. Well, nobody'd ever heard of that 50 years ago. We're trying to blast black holes into the ionosphere. What in the world? I'm just amazed at all the changes that have taken place. I mean, we went from the Model T, Model A, Model T, up to a smart car. Or is it down to a smart car? And what are we going to end up with in another 100 years? We'll be zipping around with a jetpack on our backs. Everything will be delivered. There won't be no stores no more. These are things that I see coming. You know, you'll have stuff delivered by drone from Amazon, or, you know, whatever the latest and greatest craze is on shopping. All your shopping will be done online. You won't be going to stores no more. People probably not leave their houses for much because all their entertainment will be handled in some sort of an electronic entertainment center that hangs on the wall. You just program it, you know, and there will be nothing live anymore. It'll be all on demand. Music, everything. You just type in what you want, and boom, there it is. There will be no physical companionship because people won't be leaving their houses. Restaurants, I think, will be a thing of the past too, because food safety and safety of people, because, you know, people won't want to go out. They'll be afraid of car bombs or drive-by shootings or, you know, whatever. It won't be safe to leave your house. It'll be interesting to see how they handle medical treatment. You know, if they can do that all electronically. Because I imagine that before long they're going to require everybody to be chipped. And they can probably just tap into that chip and know everything there is about your body. I think your food supply will be monitored as well, what you're allowed to eat. Probably won't be able to just free will order whatever it is you want to eat. You probably just have it all programmed by the medical gurus that are run by the government, and they'll just deliver what they think you should have, and that's it. And when they decide to pull your plug, they'll pull it too. They probably will have something in that chip where they can eliminate you when they feel that you're too big of a dredge on their system. I think it's going to be all part of the new world order. Well, we'll see. Well, I probably won't. I probably won't be here, but some of you younger ones will probably see it. So that's my little thought for this evening. Something for you to think on and dwell on a little bit. You may have other ideas too. You're welcome to put them in the comment section, and you know, we can compare notes on all this. It's always nice to hear from the folks that listen. Y'all have a nice weekend. Bye.